أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Welcome to episode 3 of Moments from Makkah. The third talk is about the rebuilding of the Kaaba. And the Quraysh, at the time of the Quraysh, the Kaaba wasn't built with mortar. It was just merely stones. And it didn't have a roof. And what happened was a man climbed over the walls of the Kaaba and stole the treasure of the Kaaba from a well which is within the Kaaba. So as a result of that, the Quraysh decided that they would rebuild the Kaaba. And what would they use? There was a Roman ship that had come to the shores of Jeddah and had crashed there and been smashed to smithereens. And so they decided to take the wood from that and they prepared it to make it the roof of the Kaaba. So the Quraysh decided that they should prepare the roof from the wreckage of this ship. And when they prepared the roof and they decided to dismantle the Kaaba again, they were afraid who should dismantle the Kaaba lest some calamity should befall him. So they waited, and then eventually al-Walid ibn al-Mughira, the father of Khalid, started to take apart the Kaaba. And when the people saw him, that nothing happened to him, they also helped him until they dismantled the Kaaba. Eventually the Kaaba was rebuilt and they put the roof on the Kaaba. The only thing that remained was the black stone. But this was an honor that no tribe was willing to relinquish to any other tribe. So as a result of that, the tribes began to argue until it came to the point of warring and fighting. And this continued for several days, until eventually Abu Umayyah al-Makhzumi, who was one of the chieftains of Makkah, he said to the Quraysh, "Let us find a solution to this problem." So they said, what do you suggest? So he said, "Let us wait in Masjid al-Haram until the first person who enters the Masjid al-Haram, and we will make him our judge. And whatever he decides, we will all agree to." So very quickly they all came to this agreement that this was the best way to resolve their problem. And that morning, who should come in except the Prophet ﷺ. And as soon as they saw the Prophet ﷺ, they said, "We are happy, Radina, we are happy with the Al-Amin, the trustworthy, to be our judge." So they came to the Prophet ﷺ and they told him or informed him as to the problem that they had. And the Prophet ﷺ thought about it and then asked them to bring a cloak. So they brought a cloak. And then the Prophet ﷺ took the stone, the black stone, and placed it in the middle of the cloak. And he asked the tribes to raise the cloak up and carry it up to the place where they would be seated in the Kaaba. And when they took it there, he said, "What would you say if I were to now take it with my own hands and place it in the Kaaba?" And so they all agreed. And so the Prophet ﷺ took the black stone with his blessed hands and placed it in the Kaaba. And in this way he resolved the dispute of the Quraysh and the bloodshed that would have ensued from that. And at the same time he had the honor of placing the stone, the black stone, in the Kaaba. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.